All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to our September spotlight for the Process Improvement SIG. We have the honor of having Amber Branch here to talk about Scrum Agile. So Amber, would you go ahead and give us an introduction? Tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and all that good stuff.
Hello. Hi, Diamond. Thank you so much. My name is Amber Branch. As you said, I am an Agile coach and I work with Endurance International Group, but specifically with the HostGator brand. And I'm located in the Houston, Texas area.
Okay, perfect. H-Town. So I really want to say thank you for taking this time out to just interview with us and just kind of talk to us about Agile. So I just have a couple questions and we'll get started from there. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So can you first tell us, how did you get introduced to Agile, or how did you get interested?
So I started my undergrad career in engineering. So for me, process improvement has always been a part of my career path. However, when I went into consulting, they actually made us use Agile with our clients. So that was my first introduction. And the first thing I thought was, wow, I wish they would have taught us this in undergrad. So once I realized how much faster it made things, it made project management make sense. That's when I decided to investigate a little bit more into the industry.
Yeah. So how much time overall have you spent in this industry?
Coming up on 5 years.
Okay.
Yes, I've held different hats and worked with different companies, but what I've realized is that Agile can pretty much be applied to any company that you go to, nearly every department. So this is something that I intend to stick with.
Gotcha. So with that being said, have you dealt with any, how have you dealt with being an African American in this space? Like, is there a lot of women, African American women in this field?
So quick answer, no. In most of the rooms that I go in, I am the only African-American female. I've been used to that since I've been an undergrad in our program. I went to a PWI, so always been almost the only Black woman in the room, except for my friend Jasmine at a short period of time. But the reality of it is, if you treat yourself as an equal and you walk as an equal, they have no choice but to respect you as an equal. I had to learn that early in my career. Imposter syndrome is real. You always feel like, should I be here? Do I know enough? But the reality of it is if you don't let that show and if you lead with confidence, you're actually taken seriously. And because you look different, you stand out. So make sure that when you open your mouth, you have something worthwhile to say. I found that ironically, I tend to get somewhat more respect from my colleagues because I always present myself with excellence, and that comes from my upbringing. So if I'm going to walk in the room, I'm going to be the only person that looks like me, I have to represent well so that I can open the door for the next person.
Yeah, that's crucial. Opening the door and being that person. So thank you for taking on that charge. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. So with you being, here with NSBE, of course I got a NSBE question. So how has NSBE helped with your career or helped you get to where you are?
So NSBE has literally been a part of my life before I knew it was a part of my life. I'm actually a second generation NSBE member. My dad was a mechanical engineer at Prairie View A&M. So he was actually a part of NSBE. And when I decided to go into engineering, literally before I even got to the campus, I was like, before I get to this campus, I need to know that I'm going to commit to NSBE. And sure enough, freshman year until the day I graduated, I was a part of NSBE. NSBE is actually the reason I did not quit engineering. I went to my first conference and I met you, Diamond, in Oklahoma. And I saw all of these people that look like me coming from an environment where I saw nobody that looked like me. And I said, okay, so they're not where I'm at, but they're out there. And it made me feel less alone. And from that moment on, after my first fall regional conference, I actually started trying to pull as many Black people that I could, that I would see in the engineering department, and say, have you heard of NSBE? You have to join it. Built up community and gave me the strength to get through my undergraduate career. To this day, I still have a group text message with all of those people from my NSBE chapter. We keep in touch. We've worked together. Some of them are still running businesses together, building apps together. And my best friend, Jasmine, who I was a year above, but she came into the program and also did NSBE with me. We still keep in touch. My friend Shawnette, she was a part of the Oklahoma chapter within NSBE, and she's my best friend. We met through NSBE. And so for me, it provided a community that I didn't have. And little do people know, but that community is what kept me in my career. Had I not been a part of NSBE, I guarantee you 100% I would have quit engineering.
Yeah, same here. Like, seriously. NSBE has definitely been the same for me. So I'm really happy. First of all, we met, and I'm thankful that NSBE has continued to hold us together. So I'm really honored for that. So what lessons have you learned along the way of becoming an Agile Scrum Master, right?
Yes, I actually perform dual roles as Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And so one of the biggest lessons I've learned from both, because in Agile Coaching, you work a lot with leadership, and with Scrum Master, you work a lot at the team level directly with the engineers. The biggest lesson I learned is that you have to know how to work with people. My job is not as technical as I thought it was going to be going into it. My job is, ironically, about 80% being a counselor. So I have employees that come to me and they may have personal issues. I've had people deal with family deaths, pets being sick that actually, weighs on them with their job, or they're actually had been with a company for so long that frustration had built up and they didn't have people to listen to them. And then as an Agile coach, you're their servant leader. So you're the first ear that they get. And if you don't listen to them and actually act on the frustrations that they have, you can actually have people walk out of that company. So as an Agile coach or as a Scrum Master, it's your job to make people feel heard, and then take the things that they're saying and use that to improve the process. Yes, there's a lot of technical things that I do, right? Just basic project management stuff of trying to make the teams work more efficient, make sure that their board within Jira project management system is something that they can utilize. But the biggest thing is using your eyes and ears and seeing, okay, how is the team dynamic together? When you understand how people work and collaborate together and you can make their job easier, that's actually what makes the process go faster. It's not about being the most technical person. I don't look at their code, even though I'm sure that they wish I could. I'm not a heavy technical person, but guess what? If you tell me what's going on and what's slowing you down in the process, I'm going to get to an answer, even if I'm not the person that has the answer. So the best thing that I've learned throughout this whole process is learn how to work with people.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's impactful, and it's powerful for people to know that, who are interested. So with that, what guidance or advice would you give someone who's interested in either being an Agile coach or a Scrum Master?
My biggest thing is, don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself. Dare to be different. Growing up and coming up in the engineering department, I was always behind in undergraduate. I was barely passing, had to take multiple classes over and over again. I just could not get some of the concepts. And then for me, because I'm a people person, I was the outlier of like the person that was going Greek while I was trying to do engineering at the same time. And so my friends would be studying and I'd be at parties, and it made me the oddball out always. And because of that, I didn't think that technology was for me because I was so different. But the thing that I had to realize was me being different is actually what made me successful in my career, because I could deal with people and was social but still had the technical background. That's what got me hired on every single job that I went to. People are looking for people that are unusual and out of the box. There's going to be times in your career where you feel like you need to fit in, you need to be more like the people around you. But the reality of it is if you can be a hybrid of anything and you can stand out. The odd thing is when I first started my career, the question that I got asked about the most was being in the talent organization I was in. So acting, people are interested in what makes you different. So my biggest advice is don't be afraid to take out those things that make you, highlight them on your resume, on your LinkedIn, and your interview. Don't try to fit the mold, because they're not looking for that. And it will surprise you how much people are willing to pay for somebody that can be different for their company, because you can bring value that they cannot find anywhere else.
Wow, girl. Girl, like, no, that's real. That's incredible. And I definitely can echo that same sentiments with having a quality background and being in data. So it's the differences that stand out. So I really appreciate you sharing that, for real, for real.
Thank you, Diamond.
So thank you so much for just like spending this time with the Process Improvement SIG, and just teaching us more about your journey as a Agile Coach, Scrum Master. I almost said that backwards. But I really appreciate that. And we definitely hope to hear more and learn more about your story as we are embarking in Agile Scrum Month.
Thank you so much for having me, and scrum on to all those people. That's the way to go. Agile is a hidden gem in the industry.
Absolutely.